Welcome back. Have you ever eaten a meal and then an hour later you're still full or not full enough? It turns out it's not how much you eat, but what kinds of food you're eating. Joining me to explain the best foods to keep you full is Jenn Blaser. She's a Hy-Vee dietitian. All right, so tell me, I do it. What's the biggest mistake that people make when it comes to eating food?
Yeah, well, when it comes to satiety, the biggest mistake is skipping breakfast and or not incorporating enough protein at breakfast. Sometimes it's skipping out the door with your mug of coffee or just skipping breakfast altogether. And so starting with protein is really important. Protein is the superstar of satiety, and breakfast is a good place to add it for most people.
So what are some simple ways you can incorporate stuff into breakfast specifically?
Yeah, so traditionally when we think about protein, a lot of people, especially at breakfast, might think of something like a breakfast meat, ham or sausage. Eggs are a really great option. They don't just have to be a breakfast food. I like hard-boiled eggs as a snack or added onto a salad or a grain bowl. But eggs bring 6 grams of high quality protein to the plate in a very convenient, versatile way. So eggs are a great option to add to that morning breakfast routine. Another great option, if you're skipping out the door with just your coffee in hand, is adding something like a collagen supplement. So Ancient Nutrition is one of our dietitian pick of the months. And I love their product because collagen supports your bone, it supports your joints, it supports your skin, your hair, lots of benefits to adding collagen in. And it's something you can add to coffee that won't add any flavor. It won't change anything about what you're already doing.
So what if you eat a meal and you just don't feel full an hour later? You're like, I want to eat more. What did you do wrong?
So if you're skipping out the door with a protein shake in the morning, maybe you missed out on another important nutrient, which is fiber. And fiber is something most people do not consume enough of. The recommendation for women is 25 grams of fiber per day. We can get fiber in things like fruits and vegetables. You also find fiber in nuts and seeds or whole grain options. So there's lots of great ways to get fiber in. But if you're not putting those fruits, vegetables, and whole grains on the plate, you're likely missing out there. So there's also some great beverage options like Olipop. So this is a swap for your traditional sodas. It has 6 to 9 grams of fiber per can. So again, getting to that 25 grams for women or 38 grams for men. It's a convenient way to add some of that in, and only has 3 to 5 grams of sugar.
So protein and fiber, that's really what you should be looking for every day as you incorporate things in your meals. And snacks. Are snacks a good way to hold you over until the next meal?
Yeah, if you need a snack, just make sure that that snack still combines that protein and fiber. Grabbing a handful of nuts or a hard-boiled egg and pairing it with a piece of fruit or some fresh vegetables is a great way to get in some additional protein and fiber.
Yeah, no, a lot of us are on the go and we don't have time to necessarily sit down and eat a meal, but you can still get everything you need on the go.
You can get everything you need on the go. We also point out, though, when it comes to satiety, the environment matters. Being more mindful with meals is important. So if you can sit down for a meal at least once per day, that can also help, because that satiety hormone takes about 20 minutes to signal to your brain that you're full. So if you aren't allowing enough time to eat your meals, you're more likely to overeat. Then taking in more calories leads to unwanted weight gain and other consequences.
Well, good to know. Thanks so much for those tips.
Yeah, thanks for having me.